There you go.
Oh,
It's Sunday.
it's casual Sunday.
There you go.
The way tequila is made is pretty simple. Basically, you harvest this large plant that looks like a pineapple called an agave, with huge spiky leaves. You cut it into quarters, you cook it, let it all ferment in a big tank, then you distill it, and that's basically tequila.
So smelling, and the key with smelling tequila that we found out too is actually you smell in 3 different places on the glass, right? And what do I mean by that is first I swirl, then I put my nose right to the edge almost, and I smell all the tequila coming up the side of the glass first. That'll kind of give you a hint of that's where most of the alcohol will be coming, up that end. And then in the middle, that's where a lot of your bouquet will come from the agave itself. And then on the far end as well, you're gonna get, it's amazing when you try it, you'll actually smell 3 distinct different smells and bouquets coming from 3 different areas of the glass. And then we taste, and before I taste too, typically what they do is they tell you when you take the tequila in for your mouth the first time, hold it for a count of 5, swallow, then taste again. You know, there's a couple reasons why I've heard to do this. It changes the pH balance of your mouth. And then what I think most importantly, your first taste, you're gonna get a little bit of burn. Your second taste, you're ready for it. So I think you appreciate it a little bit more. So, salud, eh?
It's big. See, I can't put words to it. You give it to Tim, you know, and Tim will be like, oh, this is a great tequila, or this is a terrible tequila, and he'll say, why? You know, he'll say, this is terrible because it smells like your bike shorts. And you'll be like, yes, that's it. That's why I don't like this tequila. But I just know, this is bad.
Another interesting fact. It's got a thing on here called a nom. It's basically a number. And each distillery has a number. It's interesting sometimes to go into a liquor store and see how many tequilas actually have the same number. Because there's a lot of tequila factories that will produce a bunch of different tequilas, put them on different bottles with a different label on them, and they'll be at different price points, but in essence they're the same tequila. For example, Jose Cuervo and Centenario, they both have the exact same nom on them, meaning they're made at the exact same factory. So it's kind of confusing in the sense that whatever the label is in the name doesn't mean that's the producer.
It's a good thing to pay attention to because it can offer you hints. If you know that you like Cuervo Tradicional, then maybe you'll want to try Centenario Reposado because they're both made in the same distillery.
Go ahead and taste a bunch of different tequilas too, because a lot of times what you think is a good tequila, after tasting several of them, you'll figure out, wait, that isn't actually good tequila I'm tasting. This other stuff is a lot more interesting. You'll never understand that unless you don't taste it yourself.
One extremely important thing. Every good tequila will say 100% blue agave on it. Has to by law. The bad stuff will say nothing about the percentage of agave in it, and that's because the bad stuff is 51% agave and 49% mystery liquids, basically. So avoid the stuff that got you drunk and angry when you were in college, and look for the 100% blue agave. So if you've made it to this point, if you've watched this far, I guess there are 2 things I'd like you to take away. One, don't bother drinking mixto tequila. Spend an extra $1 because it's wildly different and dramatically better. I guess the other thing is I'd really encourage you to go down to Jalisco yourself. We encountered nothing but the friendliest people and had an absolutely wonderful time.